Today we're going to check out the new Buffalo Bills Stadium in the NFL and see how it looks right now. It's in the final stages of construction for the upcoming NFL season, so let's take a look at what it has become, shall we? From a distance, you might think it's just another modern NFL stadium, but the Bills' new home promises to be much more than that. Imagine a ground designed almost to embrace the cold, snow, and wind of Buffalo instead of trying to shut them out. A place built to turn every gust of wind and every snowflake into fuel for the famous Bills Mafia, and into a nightmare for any opponent brave enough to play there in January. That's the spirit of the new Buffalo Bills Stadium, a $2 billion giant with a clear mission: keep the club's identity, crank up the noise and turn the weather into a weapon, without sacrificing comfort or a top-tier NFL matchday experience. The new stadium is rising in Orchard Park, New York State, practically next door to the current Highmark Stadium on Abbott Road. It's not a change of city, or even of neighborhood, it's more like upgrading the old address, almost rebuilding the franchise's classic home in a 2.0 version. Instead of abandoning the historic site, the project respects the bond between the fanbase and that area, and the whole matchday routine in Orchard Park. Both the franchise and the league know that the essence of the Buffalo Bills is tied to that winter setting, the freezing tailgates in the car parks and the stands boiling over in the middle of cutting winds. All of this, of course, comes at a price. The new stadium is budgeted at around $2.1 billion, a massive investment even by NFL standards. Around $850 million of that comes from public funds, which shows how important this project is for the state and the region. It's not just an American football ground, it's a sports and entertainment complex designed to boost the local economy for decades, create jobs, and keep Buffalo firmly on the league map with an infrastructure worthy of the richest franchises. At the same time, this use of public money adds pressure for the stadium to deliver everything it promises in terms of impact and quality. What really stands out is that, at a time when many teams are choosing domes, retractable roofs and fully controlled environments, the Bills have gone the opposite way. The new stadium will be open air, with no roof over the pitch, keeping alive the tradition of games played in heavy snow and intense cold. It's not negligence, it's philosophy. The idea is to turn the stadium into a genuine snow-melting machine. State-of-the-art systems will look after the playing surface and key areas, ensuring the game can go ahead, while the overall environment remains cold, hostile, and typically Buffalo. Instead of avoiding severe weather, the design embraces it as part of the club's identity. At the same time, the stands won't be completely exposed. Around 65% of the upper tier will be covered, which means a large part of the crowd will have some protection from snow, rain, and direct wind. It's an interesting balance. The pitch and the weather remain open, preserving the home field advantage in winter, but the matchday experience gains an extra layer of comfort compared with the old stadium. That roof coverage also helps with acoustics, bouncing the crowd noise back towards the field and making life even harder for visiting offenses at every snap. The new stadium's capacity will be slightly smaller than Highmark Stadium, sitting in the range of roughly 62,000 to 67,000 seats. It might sound odd to reduce the number of seats in such an expensive project, but it fits perfectly with the current logic of the NFL. Rather than pushing for the biggest possible crowd, the focus is on better seating, more comfort, improved services and a more intense experience for each supporter. Fewer people, closer to the action, with better sightlines and an atmosphere that feels even more compact and deafening. The idea is that every seat, in every section, really matters. In terms of layout, the new ground will be organized in rings of stands, with a large main bowl wrapping around the pitch and holding most of the supporters. Even without a detailed breakdown of every ticket category, it's easy to picture the structure. Lower tiers close to the turf with premium and sideline sections, more passionate fans massed behind the end zones, and the upper tier, partially covered, forming a kind of blue and red wall. That covered upper bowl will help block some of the wind, channel the sound and create a real cauldron effect, even in an open-air stadium. Despite all this modernization, the franchise is determined to keep a strong sense of Buffalo in the architecture. The design uses exposed brick and visual elements that echo the city's culture and the identity of the Bills Mafia. It isn't a generic stadium that could be dropped into any random American market. The goal is for fans to recognize the team's spirit in the facade, in the lines of the project and in the interior spaces. The atmosphere has to be loud, cold, and imposing, but at the same time welcoming for anyone wearing the team's colors. While the new stadium takes shape, the old Highmark Stadium is slowly saying goodbye. The structure is going through a gradual dismantling, and one curious side of this phase is the sale of historic items to fans. Seats, internal fittings, and even urinals are being sold as souvenirs. It's a way of turning a farewell into a celebration, letting supporters take home physical pieces of their old ground before they move on to the new one. As the complex is renewed, that emotional link with the past is carefully preserved. The new complex as a whole is designed to be one of the most modern and strategic facilities in the entire NFL. It's not just about the stands and the pitch, but also about everything around them: access routes, fan zones, services, embedded technology, and areas that can be used on non-match days. The idea is for Orchard Park to have a lively meeting point, not a stadium that only exists for 8 or 9 home games a year. In a climate as harsh as Buffalo's, that calls for special planning, and the project has embraced that challenge from day one. When the ball is finally kicked in this new stadium in the 2026 season, it won't just be the opening of another arena. It will mark the start of a new chapter in Buffalo Bills history, trying to blend tradition, weather, fan passion, and modernity in a single space. An open, freezing, thunderously loud stadium, purpose-built for the Bills Mafia and for unsettling any visitor who dares to face a snowstorm there. And if playing in Buffalo in January is already tough today, imagine what it will be like when this snow-melting machine is running at full power. If you'd like to see more NFL stadiums, drop it in the comments, and before you go, I'll leave another video in the card so you can keep exploring with us.